Hey, Leah here from Wes and Leah Mornings 1023 XLC, joined with Courtney from Trellis. How's it going today?
I am really good. Really excited to talk to you guys. How are you, Leah?
I am doing well. Trellis, we are talking flowers for weddings, not just centerpieces too, you guys do. And I know that personally because you did my wedding. So I want to talk about real quick before we get into the business aspect of everything and how you guys have adapted just with this last year and everything going on. Are guys involved with picking out flowers at all?
It's a funny thing you should say that because today I literally got an email from a groom and he's like, my fiance wanted me to contact everybody. He's like, but I have no idea where to start. And I was like, it's okay, buddy. I'm like, I got you. And he's like, I'm so glad you know what you're doing. So I do talk to grooms. That's true.
Okay.
But typically they want to make their fiancés happy.
Oh, I know. My husband was just like, do whatever you want. But the one thing I remember him saying, he was like, he walked in, he was like, man, this place is beautiful. I didn't even know what the centerpieces were going to look like. Like that was the one thing that he honestly didn't have any input on. And I enjoyed doing that. And you made it so easy. So really quick though, talking a little bit about the background of your business, how long you guys have been doing this for, because I mean, you have been nominated for Best of Awards and you're always a part of our bridal shows. We see you every year out there. And I mean, you want to trust the businesses you're working with on the most important day of your life. So a little background about how you got into the flower biz.
So not to give away my age, but I've been doing this way more than half my life. I actually started working at a florist in high school just as like an after school job. I've always been like creative and a little bit artistic. So I wanted something that maybe was a little more hands-on and just fun. Little did I know that it would amount to anything. But so I started my own business in 2008. So yeah, it's been a while. But I had been in flowers for a long time before that.
Now,
yeah.
What you have a beautiful full bouquet sitting right there right now.
Thank you.
I like all because again, something that not just grooms don't understand, but I think that if you've never been a bride before, the textures and just the different things that go into making a bouquet, you don't know. You really, you have to leave it to the professionals. You have to find someone that you're like, hey, this is what I want it to look like. Are you able to do this?
Yeah, that is one of my favorite things to do. I absolutely love texture and dimension. And I feel like I really pride myself in that aspect of everything. The biggest thing for me is the things that you have when you walk away from your wedding years down the road are your pictures. So I want to make sure that all the flowers pop and are coordinating and complement the dresses and the tuxes and the aesthetic of the room. But like you just said, the texture and the dimension are huge in creating that beautiful aesthetic for your photos, which is always for me number one.
Now, when it comes to picking out the flowers, is that something that you would say comes first, middle, or last when planning a wedding, just because of how you do have to kind of coordinate everything?
Absolutely. We always say once you get your venue booked and you don't necessarily need your dresses, but you need kind of a good idea of where you're going as far as like the styling of everything. But venue is the biggest part because that really sets the stage for any style. But after those things are done, we really can talk flowers at any time because they're the biggest design element of the wedding. Like you were talking about your own. They're the most that, it adds the color, adds the texture, adds even like the vessels of the centerpiece and everything lend themselves to the design of the space too. So it really is the biggest design element. So that creates like the biggest look for the day.
Absolutely. And I think that if you are going to go ahead and, spend the money on photographer, because of course, everyone's concerned about getting the best photographer out there. You want to try your pictures. The first, of course, they're going to see the beautiful bride, but the thing that pops out in the pictures of that great photographer that you picked out are the flowers.
I agree with you. Yes, I agree.
Right there.
Yeah, because it's the colors and the texture and the movement of things. My biggest thing too is I always ask girls like what the skirt of their dress looks and the bodice and everything. We have dress background as well. But it's really important for me to make the bouquet like complementary to her dress shape and style. You don't want something that's going to overpower you, but you don't want something that's going to look tiny if you have a really full skirt. So all of those are very important questions that I will ask my couples like time and time again. I always say, I'm like, be prepared for a lot of questions, but all those little things really add to the element of the day.
And it's things that, you know, when I first got engaged, I didn't think that those were going to be questions that my, you know, florist was going to ask me. But I'm glad that you do. And you get so in depth with, you know, the way that you do design these bouquets, because it really does make a difference. So, you know, I know that you just discussed the questions that you talk to your bride and grooms about. But step by step, if telling a bride right now, a bride to be, what she can expect, what the process is.
Absolutely. I have tons of couples like that groom that I was just saying, who's like, I have no idea where to start. And I always tell my couples, don't feel bad, because this is really the first time you've ever had to like pick out flowers for anything. Like prom doesn't count, you know, it's one corsage. That doesn't count.
No.
So we
Your mom probably helped you.
Yeah, right. We are here to help you every step of the way. I always start with a information email, I call it. It basically asks you a ton of different questions, really easy stuff. And if they don't know everything, that's okay too. But it'll just kind of break everything down very simply for them. And then I always ask them to attach their Pinterest link, which is a great tool, as you know, or some inspiration pictures, or sometimes they just don't have a clue. And I'm like, let me help you. I can help. So they're very appreciative of that.
I've done this once or twice.
Yeah, just once or twice. But yeah, it works out really well. So we always start there. It's very easy to start, especially in these COVID days where we can't necessarily meet face to face. So we'll do Zooms or we'll do a Google Meetup. But email is a great tool and been a lifesaver for these couples. So that's like the best way to start. Once I get all their information, I have this amazing software that don't tell anybody about, but not a lot of people have it, but it's an amazing tool that creates like an inspiration board and a design aesthetic and color schemes. So it's like real life seeing it in front of you, which is, it's incredible, because a lot of people are not very visual, which understandably, you don't have to be. But with this tool, I found it's just fantastic. So people can see things in front of them, see the flowers that are in season for them, and be able to see that dimension and texture that I talk about all the time. And it's just a really great way to kind of visualize the whole wedding as just one big day. So yeah, I love it. And it makes very easy, and it's very stress-free just to start talking about flowers that a lot of time people have no idea about.
Right, exactly. And you truly do that there. Again, talking to Courtney from Trellis about taking care of all of your flower needs for your big day. Courtney, bridegroom, what is the best way for anyone to get into contact with you?
Yeah, the best way is to visit my website, which is www.flowersbytrellis.com. Or you can always shoot me an email at trellisweddings@yahoo.com, or just give me a call or text 815-814-1813.
Excellent, Courtney. Thank you so much for catching up with me.
I appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful day.
You too.